Okay, Coach, opening statement on this past week for the Ladyjacks.
Good week for the Ladyjacks. We went 2-0. Started in East Texas A&M, my old alma mater. We were able to come out with a victorious in that game. Didn't start it off particularly to my liking, but in the second and third quarter we were able to get going offensively. Shared the ball really well, made some threes, and allowed our defense to create some offensive momentum as well. So then we carried that into the rivalry game on Saturday. That is Northwestern State and SFA, and it was a knockdown, drag out fight. Again, we had two players foul out, I believe, in that game, and it took every bit of emotion, grit, tenacity to come out with that win. And again, I was really proud of our team for finding a way to win when if you looked at the stat sheets, you might not have thought we would have. So just really proud of the group and ready to get back to it this week.
Ashlyn Traylor-Walker named Southland Player of the Week. Obviously for a little bit of East Texas A&M, but I believe she really had a standout game at Northwestern State. Talk about her performance this week.
Yeah, I mean, Ash has been an all-around player for us all year long. I think she's, if I'm being honest, been the unsung hero and kind of been going under the radar all year long for our team. We ask her to do a lot on both ends of the floor, especially now that Avery's been out for the last few. So really just been able to share the ball on offense and also be a really stalwart for us on the defensive end as well. So Ash is an amazing basketball player, but an amazing person. And so I'm just really happy for her. And, I think this is our second Player of the Week award. So, it's an individual award that highlights their individual accomplishments, but I always say that's a team award because, again, your teammates are helping you get in the ball, and, they want to see Player of the Week, what they're doing leads to success. And so us going 2-0 in the week didn't hurt that either.
And before I turn it over to the media to talk more about Houston Christian and Incarnate Word, lesser, funnier stat. You've gone 2-0 this season when you're not wearing glasses on the sideline, and they happen to be closer games. The first one was Abilene Christian this season, and then obviously the one against Northwestern State. Do you have a comment on that?
I do. I'm never not wearing my glasses again. Between this game this past weekend at Northwestern State and that game at Abilene, they probably took a couple years off of my life just from stress and things like that. And I'm not a superstitious person, but somebody else pointed that out to me after the game. It's like, man, we've been in some close games when you don't wear your contacts. And I was like, well, and it happens to be against schools that are wearing purple as well. So I don't know what the correlation is, but it's not going to happen again, I'll tell you that.
Well, no more purple schools this week.
And we won both of them, too. So, there's a bit of me that was like, all right, we won the games, though, but I'm not going to do that no more.
All right, turn it over to the media.
Coach, yeah, so 8 straight wins. So do y'all talk about the streak at all?
We have not, honestly. Again, somebody said that, I believe, in the broadcast after our game that it was 8 straight wins, and I was, okay, that's nice to know. I think that's the longest streak that we've had. I think we started the year on a 7-game win streak, so that is nice. But honestly, it's about, for our team at this time of year, getting better, and that's all we've been talking about as we get closer and closer to March, is making sure that we're getting better, whether that be on the offensive end, the defensive end, or just from an understanding of who we are and what our roles are and things like that. So the 8-game winning streak is nice. We like winning games here at Stephen F. Austin, but ultimately it's about just continuing to get better.
So obviously, yeah, HCU and Incarnate Word this week. What do you expect from them?
Yeah, I think these are two really good teams that are still fighting for a lot. Again, Incarnate Word on Saturday, they're right behind us and Lamar in the standings, and then you got Houston Christian, who still has a lot to play for, trying to get into the conference tournament in Lake Charles. So these are two teams that at the end of the year that are playing for a lot in their own right. So that we know that we're gonna get their best shot on their home floor, and we're gonna have to be dialed in.
And you've been playing shorthanded lately. Mm-hmm. Like any timetable as far as when to expect some of these kids back?
Again, as far as Hope Lamel is concerned, Hope Lamel will be done for the year. She suffered a season-ending injury. As far as Avery Van Sickle is concerned, she will be working out this week and has been working out. We are expecting her to be dressed out and ready to play at least by Saturday and hopefully Thursday. But again, they're still day-to-day, and I don't want to put anything in concrete or get quoted. So they're still day-to-day, but I think Avery should be back this week.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach, he talked about being the third in standings right now, just behind Lamar. and Southeastern Louisiana, obviously those first and second seeds automatically in the semifinal. And being that half game back from that second seed, has that been a point of emphasis for you guys down the stretch?
I mean, it has a little bit. Again, we always said we took our destiny out of our own hands early in the conference season by losing those 4 games early. So now what we've talked about is making sure that if someone were to slip up, that we don't waste an opportunity. So just making sure that we're getting better, as I talked about earlier, but also if Lamar or Southeastern were to slip up and do something crazy, that we weren't not ready for our opportunity if that were to happen. So that's been a bit of the conversation, but ultimately it's more been focused on us.
Yeah, and coming up tomorrow against Houston Christian team, you guys have already beaten. I know it's never easy to beat two teams twice, or a team twice in the same season. So just kind of talk about what it's going to take for you guys to get a win on Thursday.
Yeah, I think they're playing better than they were the first time we played them. I think they have some healthier bodies that didn't play the first time we played them. So it'll be a little bit of a different matchup. But ultimately, it's about coming in and doing your work and staying disciplined to the game plan. We have a game plan that we started putting in yesterday that we'll kind of finalize today. And then just making sure on the offensive end that we're sharing the ball and we're executing our sets when the time is called. But it's about the day-to-day preparation and making sure that we're dialed into the game plan to beat each specific team. It changes from game to game, and so as great as it was to get that crazy win on Saturday, again, celebrated on Sunday, and now we're back to work on Houston Christian and Incarnate Word.
And then overall, what are you looking for from your team in these last 4 games of the regular season?
Yeah, that's a great question. I want us to play hard. I want us to share the ball, and then ultimately I want to see, that grit and tenacity that it's going to take to cut down the nets in Lake Charles. Again, we talk about it all year long. I've referenced that game Saturday a couple times, but it was a conference tournament style game, from the physicality to, being in a road environment and people yelling and things like that. And so being able to find ways to win and do it in multiple different ways is what it's going to take from our group. And so just the versatility of our group is what I'm looking for going forward.
Backtracking just a little bit to Saturday, the Gas Tank League was in full effect. Obviously, you had a little bit of a crowd,
Yes.
And Key also had a little bit of a crowd with it being near the Dallas area. But then Northwestern State, it seemed like the fans were able to show out, and more specifically Purple Haze. Like
For
they,
sure.
as a group, were able to drive over and definitely provide a different energy for that game.
Yeah, no, Purple Haze gave us an amazing boost of energy when we needed it. Again, we had their football team right there on top of us, and then to have them right behind us, Purple Haze right behind us, and every time they did a chant, we're right there with another chant. Like I said, that created that environment that, that's what college athletics is all about. Like, we can talk about athletics, but it's the pageantry of college athletics and the pride in these two organizations that have been playing for forever against each other. And so when you get in these rivalry games and you get in these tough conference games, like that's what you want to be in. We talk about keeping your poise in those moments, but also you got to embrace that pressure, because that's what allows you to continue to grow and continue to get better. And so, it was a great environment. I'm glad. Like you said, the Gas Tank League, we had a lot of our supporters there behind us. My wife, my kids, they were all there. And so it was a great contingency that we had from SFA cheering us on.
So hopefully we may get to see a little bit more of that tomorrow. Houston is only like a 2.5 hour drive from here to Sharp Gym, and then obviously there's a little bit of a SFA alumni demographic that's also based in San Antonio. So good chance if you are in those areas to come out and support the Ladyjacks.
No doubt. I know we have a lot of, like you said, former alumni and Ladyjacks that live in both San Antonio and Houston. So definitely looking forward to seeing some purple in the crowd and cheering us on.
Houston Christian Thursday night tomorrow, 6 p.m. Against SFA, and then on Saturday, SFA will be against UIW Saturday at 1 p.m. Coach, as always, thank you for your time.
Appreciate you guys. Axe 'em Jacks.